This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 31, Egg-Citing Deal.
Ash. This guy wrapped up all in robes with these glowing eyes. He's like showing them eggs. Oh boy, that's fun.
Yeah, Ash finds it interesting, but in his kind of state of mind at the moment, he kind of gets bored and wanders back to the table he'd found before with the arcane focus.
Cool.
He wanted. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying cool.
Yeah, he wants to go talk to the merchant and ask how much they are.
This is kind of a tall man. He has slender fingers. He has a whole bunch of things just dangling around. What specifically would you be looking for in an arcane focus? Like, are you going for looks, or are you trying to find something that has good vibes?
Something that has good vibes for him, it would be practicality overall, and a bonus if it's something that he could attach to like the pommel of his sword or something like that.
Okay, so something that just kind of like attaches to your sword.
That would be like his top of his list, but otherwise just something he's sick of using components and would find it easier in combat to just have something that he could just have.
So he looks at you up and down. He kind of smiles. Ah, friend, you have returned. So,
Yeah.
what can I do for you?
Hi, I'm looking for a arcane focus.
Well, you wouldn't be here if you weren't looking for one.
Yeah. So I'm looking for something that's practical. It'd be nice if I could attach it to my sword. He kind of like wiggles his sword in the scabbard, like because he's just drunk.
Ah, a wizard and a warrior. Well, that is very fascinating. Yes, I have some focuses that can fit or be fitted to your sword.
Ooh, can I see?
And he takes out what seems to be like a rolled up piece of cloth, and he undoes it, and it looks like these are like replacement pummels.
Oh, that's perfect. How much are they?
Well, one without any thrills, about 200. One with some extra things, about 1,000.
Ash just kind of frowns a little bit and is like, "Oh, well, that's good to know. If I find any gold lying around, I will be back. Thank you." And then he walks away.
And as you're walking away, you notice that everybody around you is bartering. Hint.
Ash will turn around on his heel and walk back and say, "Do I need to make a check for bartering?"
Yeah, usually it's a persuasion check, but I will base it off of what you're doing. So, like, what do you mention to the guy about, like, pricing? You're like, oh, well, maybe if I find some extra gold, and then you're about to walk off, but walk back. Anything else?
He'll say, "Well, I have about a little over 20 gold and a warhammer to trade. If you want a warhammer.
Let me see that Warhammer.
Ash will pull it out of his pack and just lay it on the table. It's just pretty standard. It's nice, not like all dinged up or anything. It's just not anything fancy.
He starts checking it out. He looks at the alignment of the thing, feels the weight. He kind of does that thing where he like puckers his lips and looks out in the distance and kind of shakes his head. And then I run out of words as I'm actually trying to look up an actual price of a Warhammer.
I don't think they're worth very much, actually.
They're 15. He looks and he's like, this has the potential to be enchanted. Yes. Tell you what, I will take off at least 50 gold.
50?
Mm-hmm. So if you can't do the math, that's 150.
Yeah. So I'm still 125 short for the cheapest one. It was worth a shot. Ash just kind of shrugs and, well, it was worth a shot. If I find some cash, I'll be back. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Just remember, I got the things you're looking for.
Oh, what was your name, sir? Salesman?
Baglov.
Thank you, Baglov. Ash will kind of give a little bow and go back to the party.
Okay. In the meanwhile, Nork is going to meditate with eggs. What is Nilkus feeling about this situation with this spooky Eggman?
He doesn't like it. He makes it pretty clear. He's sort of like standing on the side, I guess, with Tierker. Or is it Lonzo backed away, right?
It's Lonzo backed away. Yeah, Tierker you haven't seen since whatever happened.
Rand's going to ask that creepy guy. She's like, so what exactly is this going to help with?
He looks you point blank, though he doesn't say anything with his mouth, but you just hear in your head, your mother.
Do you know exactly what's wrong with her? Do you know her?
Is this inside or outside?
She's saying outside. She's snapping a little.
A one-sided conversation. Do you know who your mother exactly is?
Well, I just met her today and I didn't even know she existed, so no.
I'm surprised your brothers and sisters haven't picked you up.
Sisters?
Sisters.
How many are we talking?
And audibly, Mr. Scary Egg Merchant Man just starts laughing as if there's a joke being told that no one's hearing. And yeah, I mean it's one of those tingle laughs that just kind of chill you to the bone.
She's snapping. She's like, I'm not kidding here. What do they want? What's going on?
He just says out loud instead of just, letting everyone hear a one-sided conversation. Your mother is special. And her aura floats around you. She's the first mother.
First mother.
Anybody who's interested, who's overhearing this, or might actually have some kind of history about magic, give me either Arcana, History, or... Yeah, Arcana or History.
Am I close enough to Insight? Or...
Yeah, you are close enough to insight this dude if you want.
Was
Nork's
this while...
right there, but Nork's right there, but he's focusing right now. He's not even really hearing the conversation.
Yeah, let's just say this is happening after Ash comes back.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Arcana, you said?
Yes, Arcana or History.
Ooh, that's my
Ooh.
best roll all night.
So I'm guessing during this time, Rain's going to say, "Who's this first mother? What do you mean?"
Well, you really don't know.
No.
And his gaze kind of goes over to Ash. Do you know?
Ash's eyes get really big, and he kind of looks over and says, "That was the first person, a woman that had magical gifts. Um, the old gods are kind of upset that she shared them. Some people like her, some people don't, but it's kind of a legendary thing."
So what does she want with me?
Well, she is your mother.
Darn good time to start being a parent.
Yes. Also, there's things happening in the cosmos that are stir things up. You know, certain cults like to find things, certain entities love to search for things. It's very puzzling, if you ask me.
Hmm.
So if I'm putting that together correctly, would Ash pick up that that's because we talked about who Rand's mother is, right, before?
Um, sort of. Like, you know that she's a mom. She's kind of shitty. She abandoned Ran at a very young age, and like with the 19 Arcana check, you've probably heard stories of the First Mother because some believe that she's also the one who gave birth to the first Genasi.
Oh. So, um, and this person just said that that's Rand's mother too.
Yep, and yeah, there's something strange in the neighborhood.
Uh, Ash's face is all like it's like that meme with the lady with the math all around her head. He's like trying to put this all together, but he's drunk, so he's
Trying to catch numbers like flies. Yeah.
yeah, he's got the magic part side of it, but he doesn't understand the whole relation. Anyway, yeah.
So we're gonna go back to Nork and some visions.
All right.
Do you meditate with all the
So
eggs, or do you do one at a time, or?
so Nork was going to do first the first two eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and then after meditating with the first two, he was gonna go to the third one and approach it, and with slightly shaking hands, um, gaze upon it, and then place his hands upon it and say, in Draconic, he's going to say, one's greatest fear can either be their greatest weakness or their greatest strength. And he's going to meditate on the third one separately from the other two.
So I'm gonna start describing these meditation sessions. Hope you're ready. So,
Yeah.
from the one that looks like a simple river rock. In your mind, you can see the passage of time. The proper conditions of laying the egg happen before your eyes. Mud, a frost, a spring, and a creature kind of digs itself out of the ground. It looks like it's equipped for both land and water, and you can't quite identify it with your nature check, but you can tell that it's snapping larger creatures with its mouth, it's growing, it's hunting, it's poisoning things. And even to some who touch it, get poisoned. The next one, the one that's semi-translucent, you see that the passage of time comes for it. And a great magical force cracks the egg, and what seems to be almost a shifting figure of both human and animal comes out. It's sleek, it's streamlined, but there's something a little off with it. It seems to... what's the word? Both create and destroy whatever it touches. And then, finally, the dragon. You once again see the passage of time. You see that lightning hits the egg, and it trembles, and a claw comes out, and then a head. This dragon, this tiny thing. What does Snork feel when he actually does see, like, dragons, or thinks of dragons?
So he knew what he was approaching when he went up to this egg.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to mentally stay himself, and he knew he might. He knew that this was his greatest fear, which he would have to eventually confront. So when he first started getting the visions of this dragon cracking out of the egg, at first it was startling, but then he made his best effort to keep his composure and focus on not what the creature looks like, but what it could be. The possibilities. Thinking also back to his very recent encounter with the Minotaur. He was afraid, and he was then reassured that not everything that you see. Sorry, I burped. That not everything that you see is as scary as it appears.
So you see the dragon break out of its egg after this major lightning strike, and it seems like time passes. Its shadow grows larger and larger until it's a humongous beast. Or at least to Norik, it's a humongous beast. And
Yeah.
You see that under its wings is a town, but also resting animals and people who, like, you don't see the individual people, but you feel the individual people are at peace, but there's something in the background that's bugging you. Like, the peace feels, it's there, like no one's fighting, but something else is feeling that peace, something not that great. maybe something sinister.
And the this draconic shadow is cast over the town.
Yep.
However, this town feels almost cursed in its peace.
Yeah, it seems like there is a peace, there's a tranquility, but there's some, well, other than the looming dragon, some looming overtone that forces the peace and tranquility.
Does any particular color come to mind while meditating on this?
You swear you see ruby eyes.
Thank you for listening to Tales of Swordfall.
Please consider listening to these podcasts.
Hello, folks. JP Winterbottom here to tell you about The Beholder's Eye, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons narrative-focused actual play podcast about a group of private investigators in a fantasy noir setting with eldritch horror undertones. You can find The Beholder's Eye every other Friday on iTunes, SoundCloud, or anywhere podcasts are found.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.